Good evening. Welcome to the regularly scheduled Valley View School Board meeting of March 24th. Would ask that you silence your cell phones, rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Member Baduras.
United States of America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty.
All right, board affirmation statement. Member Sutherland, if you would please.
Our mission is to empower every learner to be college, career, and life ready, and to develop, grow, and achieve as a productive citizen.
Thank you. Moving down the agenda. Dr. Wood, the agenda.
Yes, thank you, Board President Quigley. Tonight, we are seeking your approval of the agenda as presented.
Is there a motion? Motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Student and staff recognition. Dr. Wood.
Yes, tonight we have a spotlight video. Deanna Schneider, Irene King Elementary Reading Recovery Teacher.
About when you say that word out loud, what you hear at the beginning all the way to the end. Can you say that word slowly and check it for me? Yeah, watch me do it now. Will. You do it. Yeah. Reading is a very complex skill that helps you throughout life. You can use reading for entertainment, you use reading for your job, and it's a skill that your brain has so many different things that it has to do automatically. You have to look at the first letter, you need to know what the sound it is, you need to look from order from first to last, you have to keep it in sequence. So reading, those skills are important, learning those foundational skills. Soup. Yes, good job saying that word slowly. What do you hear? What's our ending sound? Go ahead. All right, read it for me. Goldie saw some soup. All right. Reading is meaning. Reading is you're reading about something. You will be learning or entertainment. When kids are learning to read, that they need to be quick problem solvers. They need to have a quick strategy to help themselves, because when they're not with me, they're by themselves in their classroom, and they need to be able to help themselves. There are lots of different things that children need to look at when they're first learning to read. Almost like you have to train your brain to look at the letter, know what sound it makes, know that those letters all combine to make up a word, and then the words go together to make up a sentence. So that's a lot of different skills, and not just reading, then you have to put that all together for the writing. So literacy, it all goes together, reading and writing.
As a student, why did you become so interested in the skill of reading that led you to a career of being a reading recovery teacher?
Once I got to Purdue University and I started working in my clinicals and part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, I just enjoyed working more one-on-one and in small groups with children. And then a lot of the children needed extra support in certain subject areas. And so it kind of just gravitated towards helping those students that weren't proficient readers.
How do you help your students become critical thinkers?
During our lessons, either one-on-one or in a small group, they are taught to become independent problem solvers and understand what reading is. So they are understanding that they need to check that first letter, they need to make sure that they check the picture. They are the ones that are taking ownership of really thinking about what will get them to where they need to be as a proficient reader. Goldie and the Three Bears. I want you to go ahead and we're going to talk about what we learned about this book yesterday. Then we're going to do some word work, and then we are going to read a little bit more of Goldie and the Three Bears. So who can tell me what happened at the beginning of the story?
Describe the satisfaction you get when one of the students you are working with has that moment where the light bulb goes on and they get it.
It makes me so happy and so proud of them, especially when I see them from kindergarten. And I might not see them in the other grades, but then I see them as fifth graders. and then they come back and visit when they're done with high school and still contact me when they're in college. Just knowing that they are successful, that they know that I believed in them, that they were special, and that they are loved.
All right, I think that, go ahead. I think all of our educators can testify to that light bulb moment when we see learning taking place in real life. So thank you to Mrs. Schneider and all of our reading recovery teachers who provided intensive reading intervention support to students over very many years. We look forward to them utilizing their expert knowledge of literacy-based best practices to meet the needs of a higher number of students and staff in order to keep pace with the ever-shifting needs of our school community and diverse learners for the 2025 school year and beyond. So thanks again, Ms. Schneider, and to all our reading recovery teachers.
Thank you. Moving down the agenda, International Skating Union Junior World U.S. Team National Team.
All right, good evening, school board members, members of senior leadership, Valley View community, and staff. My name is Patrick Woods. I'm the assistant principal for athletics at Bolingbrook High School. Congrats to all those receiving recognition tonight. We have a lot of amazing athletes in Valley View, and the first one that is going to be introduced to you is a member of the International Skating Junior World U.S. National Team, and here to speak about her a little further is teacher Peyton Shattuck.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here to honor Emma today. Emma is a talented figure skater, inspirational coach, and a dedicated student. After putting a lot of time and hard work in with her teammates this season, she got to see all of their hard work pay off. At the beginning of the month, Emma and her team competed in Sweden. They made history by becoming the first U.S. team to win the title at the ISU World Junior Synchronized Skating Champions. We are so proud of Emma and her teammates. Congratulations, Emma, on becoming a World Junior Champion.
Okay, moving on, as I said earlier, we have a lot of amazing athletes and staff members at Valley View. I know tonight is about student recognition, but I could not pass on this opportunity to talk about one of our coaches. After I introduce the next round of coaches, we will have coaches from both Romeoville and Bolingbrook up here to talk about their all-state basketball players. Before that, we have a member of our staff, Coach Rob Brost, if you come on up here for a minute. He's going to be mad at me for doing this, but like I said, I couldn't pass on this opportunity. On May 3rd, I'm going to have the privilege of attending the Hall of Fame banquet down in Bloomington, Illinois, because Coach Brost is being inducted into the IBCA Hall of Fame. Just to give you a few little stats, 17 years at Bolingbrook High School, over 400 wins, 3 state final appearances, assisted countless players getting to the next level. He puts tremendous time, effort, and energy into our program, and we're lucky to have him. Here to talk about his players, which I know he will be happy to do, is Coach Brost.
I was not expecting the first part of that, so thank you, Mr. Wood, and appreciate everybody. To do what I do is not possible with everybody that's in this room. And I want to give a couple special acknowledgments before I get to the players here, because it is about the players. But President Quigley, members of the board, Dr. Paskavich, and community members, I just want to say, if you come to a game at Bolingbrook High School, board member Soroka is at our game every time, every single time. So I cannot thank you enough for the support that we get, not only from the members of the board, but from you personally. I wasn't planning on doing this. When I see her everywhere, and she is everywhere that we are. So, you know, to commitment like that, just thank you for that. And then I'll get on to why we are here tonight. I'm going to recognize 3 of our players, but before I do that, I want to just make it clear that if you see these 3 young men only as basketball players at Bolingbrook High School, you have a short-sighted view of everything that they bring to the table. These 3 young men that I'm about to introduce to you represent everything that is good about our school and everything that is good about our community in Bolingbrook. I live in Bolingbrook. I have a daughter that graduated from BHS. I have a son who is fortunate enough to play with these 3 gentlemen, and I cannot say enough about them off the court. And tonight, you know, I'm gonna make a list and recite all their honors, and I'll probably forget some. I already told them earlier, I probably won't say all of them, but I really want to let you know how I feel about them as people, because that's more important than the players that they are. And a lot of people see them just as basketball players, but that would be a very short-sighted view. All 3 of them are honor roll students. All 3 of them are leaders, not only of our team, but in our school as well. So with that being said, I'll get to the players. First one is Davion Thompson. If you would like to come up, please. Davion's receiving 2 awards tonight from the board. The first one is for being named Chicago Sun-Times Player of the Year. He is the first sophomore in the history of the award. So I'm going to give him this one, and then I'll go on with all of the other things. Don't go anywhere yet. And then he was also named first team All-State by the IBCA. Again, he is only a sophomore, so quite an achievement. So I'll give you this one, but don't go yet. Just a few other things about him. He was also named Player of the Year in the Joliet Herald News. He was MVP of the Jack Tosh Holiday Tournament. He was all-tournament first team at the Decatur Turkey Tournament. He was the MVP of our conference, the Southwest Prairie Conference, and he was recently named in the top 25 nationally on ESPN's Class of 2027 rankings. He was also just named Max Prep's State Player of the Year in the state of Illinois. So, you know, the basketball piece is one thing, but it's an honor for me to work with this young man every day, day in and day out, and we're looking forward to big things ahead. So let's have a big round of applause for Davion Thompson. Now you just know it. Okay, now these next 2 sometimes get lumped together for obvious reasons. Because they are brothers. And so I asked them when we were standing out in the lobby, who wants to go first? Should we go oldest to youngest or youngest to oldest, or what do you want to do? And they agreed. JT, if you want to step right up here. This is JT Pettigrew. He is a senior for us. He will be attending Valparaiso University on a full athletic scholarship. He averaged a double-double for us, and for those of you that don't know, that means he averaged double digits in points and rebounds. I don't know if there's another person in the state that did that. He was all-tournament at the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. He was all-tournament at the Decatur Turkey Tournament. He was first-team all-conference in the Southwest Prairie. He shot almost 60% from two-point range and just over 40% from three-point range on the season. He was named All-Area in the Chicago Sun-Times. He was named First Team All-Area in the Joliet Herald News. On top of that, I cannot say enough about JT, the person that he is, the leader that he is. And obviously we're going to miss him on the basketball floor, but we're going to really miss him because of his leadership and the way he carries himself and the way that he projects himself throughout our school. So congratulations, JT, First Team All-State, IBCA. Okay. Bride doesn't want me to say this, but here comes baby brother. This is Brady Pettigrew. We love you. We love you. He is just a freshman. For us, he was all tournament at the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic, first team all conference, first team all area. He's generally considered one of the top freshmen, not only in the state, but in the country. He just received his second USA basketball invitation for the junior national team mini camp, which happens in about 2 weeks. And his game is very mature for his age. And, we're honestly can't wait for next season, not only with Brady, but with Davion as well. So with no more further ado, Brady Pettigrew. Very good. This is not going to be your last time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, members of the board, and congratulations to all the honorees that are going to be honored next. Do I come by too?
And Coach Brose could say that about a whole lot of players that have come through his program. Lots of really, really, really good student athletes and leaders in the building and the community. So, Rob, thanks for what you do. We know that doesn't just happen.
Thank you for having me. I'm Coach Howard from Romeoville High School. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Coach Brose on his honors of Hall of Fame with the IBCA and the players from Bolingbrook High School. Special thanks to the board for having us out, and special thanks to Mike Strode, our athletic director, and Derek Kinder for all they do for the boys basketball program. DJ, come on up. I'm going to introduce DJ Porter to you, and I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional. We're in this era now where it's transfer portal. You see it in college, you see it in high school. Just to speak a little bit, Romeoville was tough. It was tough at Romeoville this year. We had a team that won 20-something games in 2024. We had high expectations. We were expecting to, really contend for a state run this year, and right in the summer, we got hit with the transfer bug and lost 4 of our top athletes that were stated to come back. But I'm bringing that up because I want to acknowledge DJ. DJ didn't let that rock him or rattle him. He had people telling him, hey, you need to get out of Romeoville. Everyone else is left. But he came to me and said, Coach, I'm staying with you. I'm going to be loyal to Romeoville, and we're going to get it done here at Romeoville. So I want to thank you for that, DJ. A little bit about DJ. He led our team in every statistical category that we have. This year, he had 3 30-point game performances. A 30-point game versus Nicolette out of Wisconsin, a 35-point game in the first game of the season, packed house crowd at Washington High School, where he hit the game-time free throws with thousands of fans screaming at him, and then in overtime, he hit the bucket to win the game. His next outstanding performance was against Joliet West, where he had 39 points, and hit 7 3-pointers and led us to an upset victory over Joliet West. Following that, one of my favorite performances, and I haven't told him this, of the season was against Plainfield North. DJ had a tough game, and him and I were going at it because he was struggling. I was trying to keep him, focused in that game. He probably had about 6 points pretty much the whole game. We went into the last 3 seconds of the game. I said, DJ, we got to give you the ball, top of the key, get it done. DJ hit a 3-pointer to win the game and send us home with a victory. His averages this year, 17.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.4 steals, while carrying a 3.2 GPA and an honor student at Romeoville High School. DJ was our team MVP, our team captain. He's a second-time first-team All-SBC conference selection. He was nominated in the Joliet Herald News for all area, nominated for Conference Player of the Year in the SBC. He was first team Washington Shootout All-Tournament team, first team 608 tournament in Wisconsin, first team Midwest Showdown Classic All-Tournament, and for the third time, he was an all-state selection by the IBC Coaches Association. DJ will be attending Tarleton State University on the D1 scholarship in Texas. Congratulations, DJ.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Smith. I am the head girls basketball coach at Bolingbrook High School. Before we get started tonight, I also want to thank our superintendent, Dr. Keith Woods, and to the school board for their support. We have been known, we travel a lot. We play teams all over the Midwest as well as in Florida every year. Those things do not happen without the support of our school board that give us that opportunity to go travel around and play the best competition available to us. So with that, I thank them as well as my principal, Dr. Paskavich, and my athletic director, Patrick Woods, for their support in giving us an opportunity to showcase our talent around the country. With that said, our young lady tonight, I've had the pleasure of knowing since 7th grade. When you talk about our team this year, we was very young. We graduated 4 college players last year, and we kind of rebuilt this year and started over. This girl came into this season having not played one varsity game in her high school career. Her freshman year, she stayed on JV for the whole season. She ended up this year as not only the MVP of the conference, not only all conference, but as well a third-team All-Stater. She finished with over 450 points this year, close to 300 rebounds. What separates her from everyone else is that dog mentality within her. We talk about kids being able to be coachable. Once again, this is a kid that's very coachable. At no point did she ever talk back or argue, I want to do things this way. She did everything we asked her and even more. I used to joke with her during the season. I call her, a 10-minute a game person because she could only play 10 minutes. And the reality of it, she almost played 32 minutes of every game. So with that said, I would like to congratulate Miss Sydney Dodd on being the IBCA third-team Girls All-State. Good job, baby.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nate Fowler, and I am joined tonight by my fellow coaches, Jim Pileggi and Dave Dagenhart. First, I'd like to thank the school board and Dr. Wood for allowing us the opportunity to recognize our athletes for their amazing accomplishments throughout the season. Additionally, I would like to congratulate all of the other coaches here, especially the fellow middle school coaches from across the district and their athletes for having fantastic seasons and achieving the successes that they have. Wrestling is a very demanding sport. It's a sport that requires a lot of sacrifice, perseverance, and discipline. It's one of the longest seasons, and it's truly an accomplishment to each one of the coaches and the athletes that work tirelessly throughout the season to reach those ultimate goals that they've set for themselves. This season, Brooks was able to have a fantastic team from a perspective of an entire unit to also individuals. We finished with a record of 14 wins and 5 losses. We had multiple place winners at every tournament that we entered, including the Homer Invite and the Dale Keith Invite. We were 4-0 at the Richland Duels. We placed 3rd at regionals. We took 8th at sectionals, and we finished with 4 state qualifiers. I would also like to take a moment to recognize a former Brooks wrestler, Alejandra Flores, who wrestled for Brooks for 3 years. She placed 4th this year at the girls' state tournament, and we were following her successes over the course of the season. At this time, I'd like to bring up our current wrestlers and Axel Aparicio. Axel is an 8th grader, and he was a 3-year wrestler for Brooks. He finished this season with a record of 28 wins and 10 losses, and 17 of those wins were by pinning his opponent. He placed 4th at the Homer Invite, 4th at the Dale Keith Invite, 2nd at regionals, 3rd at sectionals, and was 1 and 2 at the state tournament, his first time as a state qualifier. Congratulations, Axel. Our next athlete is DeAndre Wilder. DeAndre is a 7th grader, and he finished his season with a record of 24 wins and 5 losses, and 15 of those wins were pins. DeAndre placed 2nd at the Homer Invite. He took 1st place at regionals, 2nd place at sectionals, and went 2 and 2 in the state tournament, just 1 match away from placing this season as a first-time state qualifier. We look forward to next season, DeAndre. Deshaun Wilder is next. Deshaun is a 6th grader, and he had a record of 23 wins and 14 losses with 16 pins. He took 6th place at the Homer Invite, 3rd place at regionals, and 3rd place at sectionals. Deshaun went 0-2 at the state tournament this season, but gained some really valuable experience, and we're excited to have him for the next 2 years. Congratulations, Deshaun. And our last athlete is Jay Wu. Jay is an 8th grader, and what is incredible about Jay is he is a first-year wrestler. He had 20 wins and 13 losses with 10 pins this season. He took 4th place at the Dale Keith Invite, 2nd at regionals, and 4th at sectionals. And at the state tournament this year, Jay went 1 and 2. Congratulations, Jay. You got the certificate?
Good evening. This is Ben Hart representing Humphrey Middle School, Coach Rachel Delamorte, and also Tony Clark, who can't be here. He's coaching. We're here to celebrate Dominic Budzik and his amazing season. Thank you, everybody. First, Dominic he's a 7th grader, and he came to us for the first time as a 6th grader, never having wrestled before, and this is extremely hard to believe. He had, in all my 16 years of wrestling, I've never seen someone with so much natural talent, just intuition. It's like he started in his 2nd or 3rd year in terms of his ability level. We kept asking him, are you sure you never wrestled before? No jiu-jitsu, no nothing? He was just that good. After his first year, he did some club wrestling, and he was placing at finals, at national tournaments and things. And so when he came to us as a 7th grader, he posed some difficulty for us as coaches. How do we really challenge him and get him to really kind of, stress him a little bit, see where he needs to work? And it was very difficult to do. We would have wrestlers lined up, 7 wrestlers in his weight class, and we'd have him wrestling Dom. And then when his wrestling partner would get tired, we'd sub him out and get another guy in, and we'd just do that. And I'm watching Dom's face. I'm like, how much can he handle? I feel like I'm torturing him. He would never snap. I would be the first to tap out. I'd be like, that's enough wrestling for now. We would go to opposing schools, and Dominic would be wrestling a guy, and he'd pin him in 15 seconds, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's good. I'm really proud of his accomplishment, but how do I find something I can work with him on for the next week? So I'd go over to the opposing coach, and I'd say, give me the biggest, strongest, tallest, meanest kid you have on the team that we can legally put in front of Dominic, and to find someone, we'd go over to Dominic, and we'd say, you don't have to wrestle again. This is just an exhibition, but do you want to wrestle a second time against their baddest guy? He'd always say yes. He'd never back down in any challenge. So every time we cranked up the difficulty level, he rose to the occasion. He started winning everything that he touched. So he was first place at Dale Keith, first place at regionals, first place at sectionals. And not only was it first place, he was quick pins and tech falls. And wrestling a tech fall is when the referee says, I've seen enough. You've done enough. Let's call this match. So he's just totally dominant. Really fun to watch. when it came to the state series, he came in third place in a convocation center full of 8th graders. So it's just so incredible that he could place at third only in 7th grade. We look forward to seeing what he can do next year. Let's see here. And then in conclusion, I just want to congratulate Dominic Budzik on an amazing season.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Art Tansel. I am one of the 3 wrestling coaches at Jane Addams, along with Dave Paby and Ed Hasselberg. On behalf of our principal, Sonia Ruiz, who's here somewhere, I saw you, and Dr. Wood and Dr. Polson and school board members, thank you guys for continuing to support middle school sports. I know it can sometimes be a challenge, but you guys find a way to make it happen, and as a result, I stand up here with 2 kids, and the reason I'm doing that is that 2 young men, they are both heavyweight. So in middle school wrestling, there are 19 weight classes, and I never thought I'd see the day where I would have 2 kids in the same weight class make the state tournament. Well, it happened. So Eric over here on my left and Troy on my right are 2 fantastic examples of what it's about to be a Mustang. They excel in the classroom. They're leaders in our school, in some in good ways and some in others. I'm just kidding. Eric's an awesome young man, and so is Troy. But the reality is, Troy started with us in 6th grade, and I remember we went to state this year, and I'm talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, coaches and athletes have certain conversations when they're not on the mat and when they're doing special things, and if Troy remembers 2 years ago when you were a 6th grader, I had another heavyweight, Eric Washington, who's at BHS this year, and you remember you used to be scared to wrestle him in practice. Now he's going to smile. Look at that smile on his face. He's like, "Coach, I was never scared of wrestling Eric." That smile tells you all right there. What's funny about that is we have a couple of kids now who have come up to me and said, "Coach, I don't want to wrestle Eric or Troy at practice." I'm like, listen, it's a continuing cycle, and you get better as you go. So I'm very proud of these 2 fine young men. I can't wait to see what they do moving forward in their careers, whether it be at BHS or somewhere else. But I want to end on one thing, and Eric, this is for you in particular. I don't know if you guys know, well, of course you know the NCAA basketball tournament's going on for men and women, right? Big deal. What you might not know is that also the NCAA college state championships are also happening. And there was a heavyweight this year that won his match, and they had the whole place blown up and by doing takedowns. Heavyweights and takedowns aren't really in the same category. Eric, some say he got lucky in the bracket, whatever. Eric went to every match at the state series with the takedown. In fact, the semifinal match, he took the kid off his feet, put him on the ground, and I don't think that kid has ever happened to him before because he knew nothing what to do. So they're both great young men. Can't wait to see what they do in the future. Thank you very much, Troy Houston and Eric Thompson. Let's shake hands.
Good evening. My name is Jack Davidek. I am a 8th grade math teacher here at Lukanzik, and also one of the wrestling coaches here at Lukanzik, along with my fellow coach, Justin Goodpaster. I do want to say thank you to all of the other middle schools' athletics, thank you. Thank you to the board for having us all here today, and congratulations again to all the middle school athletes for what they accomplished this year and what we accomplished in this season. First, I want to start off with our Lukanzik Middle School wrestling standouts. So this season, we had 8th grader Jonathan Rivera, who put in the work. He sharpened his skills and took on every challenge that came his way. With an impressive 41 wins and 3 losses this year, he dominated the mats and he left a lasting mark. Jonathan was a champion of the O'Brien tournament. He was also a champion of the Dale Keith tournament, a champion at regionals, 2nd place at the Panther Invite, 2nd place at sectionals, as well as with his relentless grind and dedication, it paid off as he rose to the occasion on the biggest stage and became state champion. So Jonathan Rivera here, give it up for him. Our other state placer this year has worked just as hard, continuously pushing himself to new heights to get better and better each day. 8th grader Luis Gonzalez finished the season with a 25-win and 14-loss record, proving his determination and growth. He placed 7th place at the Panther Invite, 2nd place at regionals, 4th place at sectionals, and he was a state qualifier. Luis found his rhythm this season, refining his style and playing to his strengths. No matter the pressure, he stayed composed and confident. He showed resistance all the way through to the state tournament. Representing both AVM and Lukanzik at 185 pounds, make some noise for Luis Gonzalez.
All right, moving down the agenda. Congratulations to all. Believe it or not, my freshman year I wrestled 112. Didn't last long, but congratulations, coaches and all students. Thank you so much. Treasurer's report. Apparently no report. Shaking his hands. Consent agenda item. Dr. Wood.
Yes, thank you, Board President. Quickly, tonight we are seeking your approval of 8 consent agenda items as presented. 7.1 board meeting minutes, March 10th, 2025. 7.2 executive session meeting minutes, March 10, 2025. 7.3 gift to A. Vito Martinez Middle School. 7.4 fundraiser for Tibbet Elementary School. 7.5 intergovernmental agreement with School Association for Special Education in DuPage County, also known as SASSET. 7.6 Bolingbrook High School trip. 7.7 gift to Romeoville High School, and 7.8 gift for Oakview Elementary School.
So moved.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Liaison reports. Any and all from my right.
I got a couple of reports. First of all, I'd like to talk about the March 2025 Students of the Quarter from Wilco Area Career Center. We have from Romeoville, Melina Ortiz in Business Management. From Bolingbrook, Marcus McCree from Culinary Arts. From Romeoville, Alex Andrade from Introduction to Health. And from Bolingbrook, Maria Mondragon in pre-K. Also, we had an opportunity at Wilco last week. ISB came, and they were here for Plainfield for all day on Monday, and then on Tuesday, they came to visit our Career Center. And we had a lot of information to give to them, and they were very impressed when we were talking afterwards. We found out that Tony Sanders, his father, he's the president of the Illinois State Board of Education, his father had a lot to do with the building of the Wilco. So that was a very nice opportunity that we've seen, and we got a lot of kudos from them, so we appreciate that.
Vice President Zach Isby.
Illinois State Board of Education.
Thank you.
Any and all from the left? No reports? All right. Student Ambassador Liaison report, Mr. James Estrada. If you would, kind sir.
Yes, thank you to members of the board, senior council, and also the community members for allowing us, the school ambassadors, to be here tonight and giving us a platform where we can talk. To begin my report, I'd like to start with our house shout-outs. So to begin, shout out to our spring sports for starting their seasons recently. We're all proud and excited to see how our teams do this year. Next, the Romeoville High School Our House, Our Culture event will be at RHS on Wednesday, beginning at 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. Come to see a wonderful showcase of different cultures at RHS. Both RHS and BHS hosted their spring musicals these past couple of weeks. And BHS track placed 4th at conference, and runner Bruce Duncan placed 1st in the 400 meter. We would like to call to attention to the Disability Awareness Month for March. And as a reminder to our 2025 seniors, please make sure to check in with your counselor about your post-high school plans. For old business, the ambassadors have been working really hard with the district faculty to formulate the advertisements around the district for our district-wide Spirit Week, set from April 14th through the 17th. For new business, we don't have any. And for sign-off, I would like to thank Superintendent Dr. Wood for staying a year longer. For those who didn't know, he was expected to retire, then agreed to come as a superintendent for just 1 year, and now has extended his tenure another year. Thank you for helping us ambassadors and our community, and we greatly appreciate you staying. We hope everyone gets to enjoy a restful spring break.
Thank you for your comments, young man. Audience participation. Please keep your comments to 5 minutes or less and keep them school business related, if you would. Hi, introduce yourself kindly.
My name is Allison Wold, and I live here in Bolingbrook, and I'm a taxpayer for the Valley View School Board. I'm here today to comment on my view on transparency from the school district and the board. My first observation began last March when Rachel Kinder resigned and gave a 2-week notice. This seems to be unprecedented to me for a high-level administrator to resign and leave within 2 weeks. I thought that the level, then the school district paid her salary through the end of the school year. This is confusing to me as well as many fellow friends and taxpayers. My next observation is that without any communication or minimal communication to the public, Dr. Keith Wood was promoted to superintendent of schools. While we really have enjoyed, as a family, Dr. Wood being the superintendent, it was just, I felt unusual, the lack of communication with that search. And then this year, his contract was extended without any explanation or communication to the public, despite that he had put in retirement for the end of the school year. I understand as a board, you have to make an executive decision about hiring, retaining, promoting staff. But as a parent and a taxpayer, I'm wanting to make sure a thorough and transparent process is happening to hire, retain a person in charge of one of the largest unit school districts in the Chicagoland area. We deserve that planning and communication. Also, it seems there was an exodus of staff from the administrative building last summer, as well as that news that an employee was dismissed for mismanaging funds. We have not heard an update on that. I would love one because it seems to be a chronic problem that we just don't have the money. Lastly, I find it a conflict of interest when an administrator of the district is actively electioneering for a specific school board member on Facebook, not on her own personal Facebook page, but on group Facebook pages. I understand as a wife, as a family member, that I would love to cheerlead my family member running for a school board, but it's just, as a staff member, we need to kind of be careful about when and who we're celebrating or advocating for folks. Thank you. And last thing, I know I've spoken a couple times in regards to trans issues. I really, again, appreciate all of the school district's support on this. And Monday, March 31st is Trans Day of Visibility. So if anybody Sunday, there's a group going down to the city to Federal Plaza to participate in a rally. So please keep those folks in mind. Thank you.
All right, please state your name, word.
Hello, my name is Louis, and I am a husband of a staff member in the district. So first of all, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate that you give the public time to speak. What I'd like to bring up is safety in our schools. So I know there's at least one school in the district that does not have a security guard. As I stand before you today to address that critical issue, our school, as I mentioned, does not have a security guard. In a time where safety in schools has never been more important than it is today, I don't think this is something that we should allow that goes unaddressed. A security guard is not just someone who stands at the entrance. They are trained professionals who prevent threats, respond to emergencies, and create safe learning environment for everyone and a safe learning environment for the teachers to perform their duties. Their presence alone cannot deter things. It reduces incidents, violence, and provides a sense of reassurance for everyone on the campus. We teach our students to be prepared, to be responsible, to look out for one another, but how can we expect them to do that if they don't feel safe? Is there any plans for all schools in the district to make sure they have security guards going forward?
We will absolutely look into that.
Awesome.
I know I believe we have security guards that move from place to place as needed, but we will definitely look into that.
Awesome, thank you. And the other thing I'd like to address is we need our educators to be ambassadors. We need our educators to be role models, and we need to make sure that accountability is held. I know recently there was a principal that was arrested for a DUI, and my question is, what accountability is going to happen to that individual?
That's a personnel matter, and we're not going to discuss that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello and good evening. My name is Victoria Pipkin. I am also a resident of Bolingbrook, Illinois. I'm a mother of twins who are 15 years old who were raised in Valley View schools. My daughter just got done with her run as Cinderella in Into the Woods at Bolingbrook High School. Very proud. Go ahead, yes. And we had the pleasure of actually seeing both schools. So we saw Cinderella at Romeoville High School, and we saw, of course, Into the Woods at Bolingbrook, and everyone was phenomenal. So. Cheers. I wanted to get up today. There's two things. One was there have been some Facebook posts in terms of what a board's role was, and I just had concerns about that. When you read the statutes, as well as when you look at the school board roles, it does say that the role of a school board is to oversee. And so my one concern that the post was by someone who's an active current board member. My concern is, does the board see themselves as overseers who do need to actually look at the financials and manage, not to manage, but to oversee? So we have managers, right? So we have a superintendent, and we have all the team members, and we have all the teachers, but in terms of overseeing and making sure the policies are in place, but also making sure that the risks are managed. And I believe that is part of the role of the supervisor, especially when you read the actual rules in terms of what a school board member is supposed to be. So I'm just concerned about that. If that is not something that any of our board members hold, please read up on that to make sure that you know that your role is to oversee and to understand and be kind of a gatekeeper so we don't have risks and we don't have losses. So that was one concern. Sorry. Thank you. And the second one was there were some minutes that were written, not this particular month, but in February. And I know that my comments weren't in those particular minutes. But then the week after that, there were comments made about, people who are active in the community, and my name wasn't mentioned, but that's okay. What I'm concerned about are some of the invisibility of some of how our students have felt. So we have had scenarios where comments have been made that affect our students. Changes have been made that have rolled down and affected our students. And I don't want our students to ever feel invisible. So just like I was sitting there like, hey, where are my comments? What happened there? I don't want our students to feel like that when they think they don't matter. First of all, I want to say, I know from the majority of everyone sitting up here and the majority of our school district, our students matter, just like our student ambassadors are sitting here. But I don't want it to ever be neglected that if you take the initiative and you want to, do something for your school, you want to host a candidate forum for yourselves, all of that sort of thing, I don't want you to feel silenced or invisible, because you're not. So we see it. We thank you for all of your efforts. I thank all of the students, and I also thank all of the teachers who take the time out to recognize all of the students and all their achievements. I know I'm kind of speaking very vaguely because I'm not trying to name any names or name any particular incidents, but I want you to know that your efforts are seen, recognized, and valued. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Heather, please state your name.
Hi, my name's Jaden. Oh, sorry. Hi, my name's Jaden Poteet.
You get a little closer. Closer to the mic. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Jaden Poteet. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Before I start, I'd like to offer a heartfelt apology to my friend. I broke their trust recently, and I'd like to say a sincere apology and say I'm sorry. I don't know if what I'm about to say is going to come off well. I have like a bit of the jitters, as I said. But the other day, my brother called me a loser, and he says I don't really work hard enough. I think it's really funny because I work for the school district, and I think that losers are people who care. Same with weirdos. I think looking at like history and things like that, you have people like Don Quixote trying to show people like Sandro Panza that sometimes windmills are not windmills, that things aren't what they appear to be. And I look at the people in our school, and I look at the students, and I see them trying. I see teachers trying. And I think like times currently are, they're very vague. With the Don Quixote example, I look at the news and sometimes things aren't as clear as they used to be. That we don't really see the great efforts that are like put forth by by the giants that we stand upon. My mother worked at the school district for 20 years, and this is where she's going to lay her head to rest. And as someone who works here too, I'd like to make her bed. I'd like to have that be done and have everyone be grateful and acknowledge the people in their community. But I think it's all too hard because our means, while so gross, are vague. They aren't as clear as they used to be. But every day I work at Romeoville High School with tech. I see the students trying their best. I see the teachers caring. And I see everyone taking that great noble effort. I mean, even right before everyone in our community, we just saw wonderful people, wonderful students trying their best, succeeding and excelling. And that's, well, you don't really see that on a Facebook page or TikTok or scrolling through these feeds. And I'd just like to thank everyone and thank you for caring and trying your best. And to close on this, and this is the hardest thing because, like I said, it's trying to pierce the veil in some way. Outside of the district and in America, times being as unsure as they are, as hate being as prolific as it is, I want to grant an assurance to a certain group of people, both gay and trans, that I think it's just your being you that makes the world a special and wonderful place. No one can take that away from you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hello, good evening. My name is Sean Salisbury. I live in Bolingbrook. I've been a resident of the district for 41 years. Paid a lot of taxes over those 41 years. And so forth, which was my subject matter last time and will be again this time. So I was a little surprised after the public comment section last time on March 10th, that one of the board members mentioned, or there was a question, there was a response, I forget exactly how it went down, but that the student count had been going down. Dr. Wood and I had a nice conversation a little bit later. Yet, I continue to see more and more money being poured into the school district. I'm having a hard time putting those two pieces of the puzzle together. For instance, from 21 to 22, my 365U portion of my bill went up 9.68%. 2023, in comparison to 22, it went up 8.1%. I don't know what 24 is going to be, obviously, because the tax bills have not been issued yet. But my assessment went up 11.14%. So if that holds true and that translates through, rate being the same, et cetera, it'll be $11,790. That's not the whole tax bill. That's just your 70%. Whole tax bill will be $9 short of $19,000. I'm paying a ridiculous amount of taxes. Last meeting was the last meeting I was here, first time I was here. There are 4 guys in the booth. You've got a lovely custom desk to sit behind for the meeting. I gotta think there's a better way to economize and spend the money. Is there a figure that you can tell me what we're spending on a per student basis?
Right off the top of my head, I don't want to get it wrong, but we'll get the information for you.
I appreciate that. Could you possibly get it to me before April 1st?
Sure.
Okay. And who should I follow up with? Because I don't want to be a... Okay. Dr. Wood is good enough for me.
Yep.
I would really like to know what that is, because like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm a numbers guy a little bit, so bear with me for another moment. The total tax bill for me went up 33.84% in 10 years. The rate of inflation was 30.8 within that same 10-year period. 365U portion of the bill went up 41.99%, 42% essentially, with the same rate of inflation, 30.8. It appears to me from looking at my numbers, my little world, my tax bill, if you will, that you guys are outstripping inflation in a high inflationary time. I know we're building a big ECC over at Oakview, where I used to live nearby. It looks, I just looked in the agenda, I think it's somewhere around a 40% increase in that building. If I got my numbers roughly right. It just seems to me there's got to be a way to economize and to spend not just the district's money wisely, but wisely when you get grants or anything else. It's like I've told the other taxing bodies that I've been traveling around to, when you get a grant from here, you get money from the senator here, state senator, you get this money from Will County Board, it's all my money, because I pay the whole bill. And I do appreciate the commitment to get me the numbers, I really do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, moving down the agenda. Action reports, Ms. DiDonato, 10.0, 10.1.
Action for 10.1 is the Consolidated Action Report for Certified Classified Administrative Personnel. The administration is respectfully seeking your approval on all items as presented.
So move.
Second.
Motion is seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
I have a question.
Oh.
I'm sorry. As I went through this, I saw the Summer Connection site teacher on many of these. Could you tell me what that person does?
Yes, so the Summer Connections is a program over the summer that our teachers, typically internal candidates, are being hired to support those programs.
Good?
No. I still don't understand what the, so they're supporting what? I'm sorry.
They're supporting summer programming for students, for elementary students and elementary programming.
Okay. Is there a reason they're called that? Can they just be called a teacher? I'm sorry. I'm serious. I mean, is there a reason? I mean, are they doing something special that it that teachers doing differently? Do they have a special title?
The special title is just to signify that it's a summer program and not the same specific curriculum that they're presenting during the school year. So the summer tends to condense some of the programming, and they offer a variety of other activities as well.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. 10.3.
Action for 10.2, Resolution 2533, authorizes the non-reemployment of part-time and temporary educational support personnel. The administration is respectfully seeking your approval on all items as presented.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Action for 10.3, Resolution 2535, authorizing non-renewal of a professional technical personnel employee. The administration is respectfully seeking your approval on all items as presented.
Your motion?
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach? President Quigley?
Action reports. Mr. Renich, early childhood furniture.
In June of 2023, an informational report was presented to the Board of Education regarding the construction of the Early Childhood Center located at Oakview School property. As a reminder, the district successfully secured a maximum grant amount of $10 million to support the construction of this new school. The district sought quotes from 3 different vendors, and after careful consideration, Hendrickson was selected based on their comprehensive proposal package. So the administration is now recommending that the Board of Education approve the contract with Hendrickson in the amount of $231,127 to supply new furniture for the Early Childhood Center as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Resolution PTAB settlement. Property Tax Appeal Board. Welcome.
In 1998, the Property Tax Appeal Board, otherwise known as PTAB, began hearing appeals from owners. Just kind of a little background for everybody. Owners for commercial property seeking to have their tax assessments reduced. Companies that win such appeals may be eligible for tax refunds from that taxing district. To address these appeals, the Board of Education has authorized Tressler, the law firm, to intervene on our behalf for the district. Additionally, the district does collaborate with its partners and other taxing districts in these matters. Tressler has intervened on our behalf of the district and has been negotiating a settlement agreement with the Promenade for several months. As a result of their efforts, Tressler has been able to secure a favorable settlement. The administration is recommending that the Board of Education approve Resolution 2532, which approves the terms authorized the execution of the Promenade Tax Appeal Settlement Agreement with TPB Proco LLC, which is the holding company, as presented.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Buduris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Dr. Polson, school calendar.
Yes, 12.1 action item was brought to you as an informational item at the last board meeting, and it is now action. Everything has stayed the same from the initial approval on December 9th, with the exception of the start date for our earliest learners. So we are requesting your approval as presented.
Motion?
So moved.
Motion and somebody second it? Motion, second, motion. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Buduris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Dr. Wood, action reports. No report. How about superintendent information report?
Yes, I do have a superintendent update for everyone this evening. Tonight, our focus is on the arts. And just a quick note about Romeoville High School. They had quite the showing at the Southwest Prairie Conference. 6 of their 11 entries received a ribbon, so congratulations to those students and their accomplishments. STEP recently held a talent show, and kudos to all participants. It is certainly clear that our students have many talents. That included voice acting, guitar, video production, dancing, and other unique talents. And it's interesting that SpongeBob was mentioned multiple times during the STEP show. So definitely need to keep up with what's happening currently. So congratulations to the STEP students and staff who facilitated that event. Dana Alonzo won the Bolingbrook High School art competition sponsored by the Bolingbrook Police Department. And Dana earned $2,500 as a scholarship in a contest that was judged by Illinois Representative D. Avalar, our Bolingbrook Mayor Mary Alexander Boston, other local leaders. The continued partnership and support by local and state government officials and the Bolingbrook Police Department is greatly appreciated. Can we clap it up for Dana and that $2,500? And for many of the participants, it was their first time just participating in the art contest, and it was good for them to have an opportunity for their talents to shine. And just a reminder, again, 5 Essentials closes out this week. Parents still have an opportunity to submit your voice via survey. I'm sure the schools will appreciate learning about your thoughts on the school learning environment. And also a reminder that kindergarten enrollment continues, so make sure if you have a little one that needs to register, that they get registered in a timely manner. And so I just want to take a moment to, and James mentioned this already in his ambassador report, just want to thank all of our student ambassadors for coming up with an initiative to essentially promote community and celebration and just a little bit of fun. And this event happens the first week, or not the first week, April 14th through the 17th. And just quickly, on the 14th, it'll be Sports Day. On the 15th, it'll be Dress for Your Future Day. On the 16th, the Cultural Fit Day. And on Thursday, it will be District Colors Blue and White Day. So thanks once again for our student ambassadors for launching this initiative, and we hope all participate. So important upcoming dates, March 26th and April 16th, are early release days, March 31st through April 4th. As if we needed a reminder about this, it is spring break, and Monday, April 14th is our next board meeting. Just want to encourage everyone, it seems like we are on the tail end of the school year. We still have some months to go, a lot of learning to take place, but I want to remind and encourage everyone to finish strong. And just to note, high school graduation for both high schools is on Sunday, May 18th. Our secondary transition experience program exit ceremony is Wednesday, May 21st. Middle school promotions will take place on Tuesday, May 27th, and May 28th is the last day of school. That brings me to the close of my update. Thank you.
All right. District waste hauling contract.
14.2, Valley View's current contract for trash removal is with Waste Management Incorporated. The agreement, which covers a 3-year period from July 2020 to June 2023, includes a provision for 2-year additional extensions. Last year, the board approved a second final extension, so the contract ends on June 2025. This report serves to inform the board of the district's intention to seek public bids for waste hauling contractors for the new 5-year term beginning this summer. Public bids were advertised on March 10th, and a pre-bid meeting was held on March 17th. With 5 contractors in attendance, bids are due on April 2nd. This is an informational report, and at the next board meeting, the administration intends to recommend a contract to the successful waste hauling contractor for 5 years.
Yep. Moving on the agenda, Bolingbrook Video Board.
14.3, Bolingbrook High School, BHS, is proposing an addition of a full-color video display board in their main gym. The district sought quotes through an approved purchasing cooperative to ensure competitive pricing. The project is also being supported by a generous donation of $30,000 from the Live Golf League. This is an informational report for your review. We anticipate bringing a recommendation for your approval and contract award at the next upcoming board meeting.
Thank you. Capital Fixed Asset Inventory.
A little background, in June 1999, the Government Accounting Standards Board, GASB, issued a statement number 34, which established a new financial reporting requirements for state and local governments with the focus on reporting infrastructure assets. Under the GASB Statement 34, government units are now required to complete a capital asset inventory at least every 2 years. In compliance with this requirement, the district sought quotes for services and determined that ITV appraisal is the most qualified to perform the necessary appraisal. Alongside the independent appraisal, the district will need to update its board policy 480, accounting and audits, to include a provision for capitalizing its fixed assets. This is an informational report for the board with the intention to present a formal recommendation for updating the list of approved deposit, for seeking the fixed asset appraisals.
Thank you. Moving on the agenda, Legal Services Report.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. 604.
Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here tonight and taking time away from family and loved ones and all the things that you do. So thank you for being here. Starting out at Valley View, the memory of the slogan, first the heart and then the mind, still kind of resonates with me. Myself living in Will County in the township next door, though actually some of our students do live in Wheatland Township. Stories of influential teachers with a positive legacy who lived in the township next to Valley View made this seem like a good place to land. So who is our membership practicing this heart before mind? Allow me to introduce you. We are mechanics, not just making sure buses are available to pick up our students, but many times having to figure out how to service our buses, which saves money doing this internally, while also driving routes due to a bus driver shortage. We are the security that is there to protect your students, sometimes stationed right at the front door. We are the maintenance who arrives hours before school to clear snow. We are A-push teachers, hosting reviews, sometimes after practices and games at 6 or 7 at night. We are staff attending a student's church dance team event on a Sunday morning. We are parapros, leading small groups during lunch recess to help our students stay engaged. We are middle school athletic directors, starting a sports booster program and working with our PTO, an athletic director, I'd like to add, we are so very fortunate to have. We are a parapro, volunteering as a wrestling coach in order to help create a comfort level for a student. We are DL, dual language. I got you, dual language, you're welcome. We are DL teachers, dual language, who have to somehow find a way to juggle pacing and instruction in multiple languages. We are a middle school working hard with the MTSS process to see those efforts pay off. We are the staff members who keep extra clothes and snacks for students in need. We are 8th grade English language arts classes, creating excitement in reading through the use of plays. We are staff that work collaboratively with families to encourage students for AIR by leaving notes on their desks before the test. Did I say, oh, IAR, yeah, sorry. I'm 6 years removed from middle school, my bad. We are not just members of VVC, but also parents in the community who work hard to keep social media positive and focused. We are a DL staff putting together money to help a community member fight cancer. We are the support personnel who will be a part of so many lives and stories that we simply cannot share. We are a membership that gives out scholarships to VVSD students every year. We are here for our work family when dealing with loss. We are here to organize and expand student experiences like field trips to Drury Lane and Feed My Starving Children. We are here to volunteer our hours to set up a reading night. We are here to go to former students' events, including senior nights for their college career. We are here to hear the words, "Okay, you're my trusted adult. This is what happened to me." Thanks. We are the staff that now faces the prospect of needing to pay money out of our pockets to continue to teach our students and take care of our family. We are concerned about attracting new members to our council, facing the prospect of not only new teachers starting at wages below neighboring districts 203, 204, and Plainfield 202, but potentially even lower than Oswego 308 if we don't address properly. We are the staff who are recognized as being outstanding, and then watch as our positions are eliminated. We are the staff you see in this room tonight, showing you our commitment, the heart. Let's get to the mind. I'd like to offer a story. A few years back, I had the honor and privilege of having two very gifted students in my classroom, 2 years apart, brother and sister. Both students came to us at Jane Addams from the Challenge program in the district. One of them entered IMSA directly out of Jane Addams. Being invited to their graduations was not just an honor, but it was a well-attended event by many in the community. The one received a full ride out of IMSA to study fighting cancer as a doctor. The other is literally studying to be a rocket engineer, or as some would say, a rocket scientist. Someday, we may very well be celebrating the unbelievable feats of these students, because all of these students are our students. Good enough to celebrate exemplary as a school should be good enough to celebrate their continued achievements. We have created interest among our students about the election process. According to the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement, students who had not received encouragement to vote from teachers in high school were more than twice as likely to agree with the statement, "Voting is a waste of time," as those who had been encouraged, 26% versus 12%. What are we doing for our students who are interested in the election process and how local government works? Are we encouraging them, or are we more worried about the politics? Which is more important, holding on to power at the expense of welcoming dialogue, which could lead to others at the table, or having that dialogue and teaching our students through our example that there is a path forward in having those tough conversations? These students are watching more than you realize. So are the staff present here tonight, tasked with the heart before the mind. Those in leadership who want these results have to practice them as well. All of us in leadership positions should ask, am I? Am I practicing what I preach? Honor our students, honor our staff, and then you truly honor the communities we serve. It's not just a slogan. How we are both treated matters. And at the end of the day, the students and our membership just want to see, not hear, but see that we matter. Thank you.
All right, 604 office personnel. Thank you. Transportation. Apparently no report. Any old business before the board? Any new business before?
Hold on, I got something.
Oh,
All right. It looks like Ms. Pipkin left. I just want to say I appreciate that she withheld my name, but the Facebook or social media that she referred to was actually me, and I have a picture of it here so I can get this straight. I said the role of a school board member isn't to act as the district's auditor or the district's attorney. I don't think that anyone would disagree with that, but that leads me to get into my next thing. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to take a few moments to help clear up some, what was the term that was used last board meeting? Yes, misinformation. A quick preface, if you don't mind. I did type this speech on a keyboard. First off, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Tanya Williams and her team of educators at the Early Childhood Center for their countless, and as we learned from the last board meeting, thankless hours of work obtaining what I believe was a $10 million grant that enabled us to build the Early Childhood Center expansion to further serve the community of Bolingbrook. Can we get a round of applause for Principal Williams and her team? Thank you. I'd also like to point out that unlike a similarly situated district to the west of us, we would never make the mistake of building a school and forgetting to budget for the staff. Does the suggestion that we moved money out of the ed fund, which is how we pay teacher salaries, to another operating fund not related to employee salaries make any sense? No, it does not. And that's not why the money was moved. By the way, it's a common occurrence that the district moves money from one fund to another to cover unexpected expenses. Additionally, I'm confused by some of the comments, but it seems as if the suggestion was that we shouldn't expand early childhood education in the hopes of making young learners' entry into education a more successful transition. The early childhood expansion will not only increase the success rate of the young students, but also make the jobs of our teachers easier through time and also to add membership into your union. I fail to understand how that is an egregious initiative on the district's part. Again, I say thank you to Mrs. Williams and her team for the amazing job they do with the students in early childhood. I know my daughter Sophia went to the Early Childhood Center as a 3-year-old and came out as a teenager. I'm also confused at the comments regarding Valley View's management of debt. I think it's important to remind the community that it's not like Valley View has just enough money in their fund balance to make it to the end of the fiscal year without borrowing money or millions of dollars in the red in our transportation budget. We have manageable debt, and we have long maintained enough reserves to operate without income for 90 to 120 days, not 90 to 120 minutes, like other places run by the experts. There's 70 districts in Illinois under ISB, Illinois State Board of Education, financial review. Valley View School District isn't one of them. I actually wrote this in earlier. I wanted to quote a Bible verse that I remembered. Matthew 7:3, why do you look at the specks of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Let's unpack the comment about debt for a moment. If we may, 25 or so years ago, the communities of Romeoville and Bolingbrook went through significant residential expansion. With that expansion generally comes a need for schools. So how does a district add schools? They build them. How do they build them? Grants, cash, or debt. The debt that Valley View has is primarily comprised of projects that have improved the learning environment for the children of Valley View and the work environments for the staff of Valley View. Can someone please explain to me how that could have possibly been portrayed by the union president as mismanagement? Was a subliminal message there that we should have held classes in the middle of a field or maybe invested more into double-wide trailers for classrooms? Off the top of my head, here's a small sample of the projects that make up the Valley View debt. Bolingbrook High School, Lukansic, Scoff that we're in now, Hermanson, Pioneer, Romeoville High School renovation and expansion to include the new wood shop, athletic facility upgrades at both RHS and BHS, numerous roof replacements, boiler replacements, HVAC replacements, various parking lots, and the original early childhood expansion and improvement when the Ad Center was moved down the street. Let me correct one last misinformed comment made about debt service as a transition into my next topic. Every good and knowledgeable school board member knows that debt is not part of the calculation of per pupil expenditure, so no, our per pupil expenditure hasn't increased because of debt. Next, I would like to address what I assume was the primary reason for the performance last week, the reduction in force that the district unfortunately had to complete. These things are never an easy conclusion to arrive at, and I know it was difficult for the administrators up here to propose. Nobody up here wants to see anyone who has worked so hard for the community lose their position. Unlike other districts in the area where no explanation is given before the reduction in force vote is taken. Mrs. DiDonato informed the public why this measure had to be taken, and also unlike other districts in the area who recently riffed first and second year teachers, Valley View has actually lost an incredible amount of enrollment. We have done our best to maintain our high level of staffing over these last several years where our enrollment has continued to decline. Regarding administrators and our ratio, many surrounding districts can't compete with us for student outcomes because of the great work curriculum has done over the years. They have put resources in teachers' hands that allow them to teach, especially at our middle school level. Currently, this new and improved senior admin team is working on K to 5 to replicate what we did at middle and some high schools so we can start moving towards better outcomes there as well. I think Mr. Ploger was a little disingenuous in his comments on this topic. The Illinois School Report Card classifies deans as administrators, when in Valley View, deans are actually a part of his union membership. They're not classified as administrators for us, and he knows that. When you remove the 30 deans we have, the ratio for student to admin goes way up, and the story becomes less compelling. For example, RHS report card shows 15 full-time admins, but in actuality, they have 8, because 7 of those are counted in the report. Or 7 of those counted in the report are union members. Let's see. You like to talk about transparency for others, but I guess that doesn't apply to yourself. Just like how you came up here to chastise everyone on this dais, March 10th, about doing their jobs and being fiscally responsible to the stakeholders. Then on March 17th, at approximately 9:15 p.m., yes, I watched your live stream on YouTube in real time. You not only voted yes to action item 10.3 and 10.4, you were the board member who made the motion to initiate the vote to RIF first and second year teachers in your own district. We RIF'd 13 certified and 2 classified, and within a week called back 3 certified already. And where was that passion when you were cutting first and second year teachers where your tax dollars are spent? That leads me to another thing that I want to jump into. I'm going to use this as new business.
Moving down the agenda, new business.
Again, recently there has been a lot of talk about transparency and the public demanding more transparency from the district and the board. I too believe in transparency, so long as it doesn't violate anyone's rights or laws regarding confidentiality. It's because of that that I am shedding some light on an issue that was largely glossed over late last year. Some of you may recall there was a letter that was sent out to hundreds of Valley View employees in September 2024 informing them of an incident that involved some of your information. The letter went on to explain that the union had requested said information under the guise that it was needed for negotiation purposes. The district stated that it was their position that the information requested by the union was protected health information and therefore did not disclose this information to the union. What they failed to do was to provide additional context to what triggered this chain of events. When the former union president or former Valley View Council president was denied the requested information, she filed a grievance with the district. The union alleged that the CSBO had failed to oversee, I'm quoting the actual investigation report, so that's what this is, has failed to oversee the working spouse eligibility provision and has allowed bargaining unit members' spouses to be covered even when said spouses have coverage options with their respective employers. The former union president, again, I believe the technical term is Valley View Council president, included language demanding that those members' spouses be removed from the insurance, something I think everyone would agree with. Between the initial grievance filing on June 25, 2024, and the meeting for the Step 3 grievance hearing, the former Valley View Council president resigned and took a job with Local 604. This fact is important because it provides some context in a speech that the new council president would give at his first meeting later in the year. On July 19, 2024, the Step 3 grievance meeting was held with the new Valley View Council president and new field service director, who was the former Valley View Council president. During this meeting, the former Valley View Council union president, sorry, I'm repeating this a lot because I was instructed not to use names, presented several documents as her evidence, which included a spreadsheet of 407 Valley View employees. That's you guys in the audience. And their spouses' protected health information, both union and non-union employees, I might add. Also included was a screenshot of my wife's employee portal that includes my wife's name, my wife's, mine, and my 6-year-old kindergartner's health insurance information that I believe contained more information than what was on the spreadsheet. Additionally, my wife's information on the spreadsheet had been highlighted by someone who had previously been in possession of the information. I have never seen the spreadsheet of names because that is all of your protected information, so I can only comment on what the investigation found. During the July 19th meeting, the grievance meeting, the new 604 field service rep, which was the former Valley View Council president, was asked how she obtained this highly private information, and she responded that it was not relevant. She told the administrators in the meeting that she called what she thought was my employer, Snyder Insurance, and asked if health insurance was offered to employees through Snyder Insurance plans. First, I don't work for Snyder Insurance. I work for Badurus Insurance Agency, LLC. It's been filed November 22nd of 2019. I looked that up on my way over here, so there is no correlation between the two instances, which is contracted with Snyder Insurance. I have never been an employee of Snyder Insurance. Second, when I learned of this information, I asked the owners of Snyder Insurance if they ever spoke with anyone who cold called them to ask if employees had health insurance through Snyder, to which they laughed and asked who would do such a thing, such an odd thing. Moving on, during this meeting, the union field service rep, former VVSD council president, informed the meeting attendees that the sole focus of the union's grievance was her belief that board member, and this is a quote, excuse me, I should have done that. The sole focus of the union's grievance was her belief that board member J.T. Baduris was improperly given spousal health insurance through the district through his wife, end quote. The union official claimed that she had additional documentation and communication that she would present at a later time but would not share in that meeting. She demanded that I be removed from the health insurance immediately and the district furnish a letter admitting to wrongdoing. No supporting documentation has been disclosed to me at any time. After the school district learned that the information they were supposed to protect was leaked to the union, they engaged in a lengthy and costly investigation to find out the source of the leak. I don't have the exact number, but that cost to the taxpayers is in the 6 figures. That's your money. That's also your money. The investigation revealed that, again, I'm going to open the quotes, a report from the VVSD SERP, sorry Liz, I don't know what this stands for, I copied it directly out of the report. SERP, where I lost my place here, hold on, we're going to look for the word SERP. Where'd it go? 1 second, here it is. Report from the VVSD SERP EIA on June 10th, 2024 with 407 records, which matches the number of records found in the released EIA report. Again, I don't know what EIA stands for. I think it's Employee Insurance something. End quote. It goes on to say that a former VVSD employee's user account, it says their name, but user account printed a document from Excel consistent with the report exported from VVSD SERP shortly after exporting the VVSD SERP EIA report, end quote. Then the investigation found that, open quote, the June 10, 2024 document was printed to, and again I had to retract the name, to the same former employee's, open quote, default printer in her work area, end quote. The report concludes that this former employee was presented with information that showed her that, open quote, her workstation accessed the EIA module, generated the EIA report, printed a spreadsheet, and then composed an email in blank name, personal Gmail account within a short period of time on June 10, 2024. I would like to add that the screenshot of my wife's employee portal profile was transmitted from the former VVSD Council President and current 604 official's personal Yahoo email to herself in an unidentified email. Her name was in the receiving line. I bring this up for the simple fact that if these individuals were conducting this operation as part of their jobs, then why the cloak and dagger efforts? Why would they not be transmitting this information within their vvsd.org email addresses? Folks, these are not my words. These are direct quotes from the investigation report, which I have here, for which the school district and therefore the taxpayers paid for. As some of you may recall, at the September 23rd, 2024 board meeting, this VVSD that stole the information was found to have stolen the report containing protected health insurance information, or health information, was terminated by the Valley View School District for cause. Why am I telling you this now? I'll tell you why. At the time all this was going on, I had asked, no better yet, I pleaded with some of these folks sitting up here with me to pursue the individuals in the union, if need be, to recoup all of the money that the taxpayers of Valley View had lost, trying to determine the source of this leak. For the record, the information was said to have been placed in a mailbox randomly. I begged them to do the right thing and make sure that the other 406 people whose information was supposed to be protected by VVSD were kept safe. Up until recently, and well after the information was stolen, that information was still being kept in a file cabinet in a cubicle. Shame on me for not redacting my own information out of there. I didn't know this could happen. I left my EIN in there, I left my Social Security in there, and I really regret that. It wasn't until I began demanding my information back from the school district because they couldn't protect my information that they finally moved these file cabinets into a locked and secure office within the Ad Center. The response I received was that they didn't want to have a problem with the union because contract negotiations were coming up. Can you believe that? The district opted not to pursue recovering taxpayer money that could have been used on paying teachers or things in the classroom for children because of contract negotiations. You know what the funniest or maybe the saddest thing about this entire occurrence All of my documents the district requires for proof of eligibility on the health insurance are filed with the district. They always are. They have all of the proof they require and then some. Not only that, if the union leadership had been forthcoming as to their intentions, all they had to do was ask me if they could see it. I would have showed them. They didn't have to steal it and leak hundreds of other people's data in the process. I would have given it to them freely. As a matter of fact, at their request, I provided them with an affidavit from Snyder Insurance, further providing proof that my company is an independent contractor and I'm the only employee, and as such, am not offered health insurance. It is election season, and half the people running for the school board would be new members. I asked them this question. Mr. Spangler, this is for you and for Ms. Pipkin, who left. Are you sure you know what you're asking to volunteer for? Look at this situation for me. I'm here trying to do the right thing and do what is best for the community in which I live, and the school district for which I send my daughter, the district where both of my parents worked their entire careers. The public talks about accountability. This is what happens when an elected board member holds people accountable. This all happened because the former Valley View Council president wanted to exhaust all means necessary afforded to her by the local 604 AFT to get me. I was elected by the community and targeted by the leadership of the union because the former Valley View Council president decided she was going to waste taxpayer money on a witch hunt. Valley View School District is a better place for education having the former Valley View Council president move on. At least she is not in the classroom with the children of this community. Vindictive, manipulative people like her have no place in education. That's all I got to say about that. That's okay. That's all right.
Moving down the agenda. Freedom of Information reports, Mr. Blaney, are available on our website.
I have everything here, so please don't FOIA me.
Any announcements by the board? Any announcements by the administration?
No announcements.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn would be in order. Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Have a good evening. Enjoy your spring break coming up.